We have inside linebacker Jackson Sirmon here with us. We'll go ahead and get started with questions from Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report.
Jackson, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. So I'm not sure how many of the guys on the Washington offense were there when you were there, but can you give us your impressions of just how prolific they are and what the challenge is to you guys as a defense to try to slow them down?
Yeah, no, there's several guys in the offense that were there when I was there, so I know a lot of them. But yeah, they're a really talented group. The quarterback does a really good job of throwing the ball. The receivers do a good job of getting open and catching the ball, and the offensive line is a talented group. They pass protect well and they run the ball well, and the running backs are good at running the football. And they throw a lot at you, a lot of shifts and motions. So a lot of it's going to be discipline, keeping stuff in front of us, tackling well, making tackles in space, seeing our keys. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a lot of the keys.
And taking the ball away, how important will that be in this game?
I mean, that's huge every game, but especially in a game like this, where you're facing a really talented offense. So, yeah, we've done a good job of being opportunistic in that way, and we look to keep that up in this game, and that would be big.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Steve Kroner from the SF Chronicle.
Jackson, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is this game more emotional because, as opposed to last year, because you're playing at Husky Stadium for the first time, or was last year more because it was the first time you played against your former teammates?
I don't know if like emotional is the right word. It'll be neat. It'll be neat going back to that stadium. I played a lot of games there. I think it'll be kind of crazy for about 5 minutes while I'm doing the pregame warm up, and then after that, it's another game. But it'll be cool going back to that stadium. It's a nice stadium. The fans do a good job of filling it up. It's a great setting, so it's a fun place to play. But yeah, once the ball snapped, you're pretty locked in once the game's going on.
Fair enough.
All right, if you have next questions for Jackson, go ahead and put it in the queue now.
Sorry, I have one.
All right, we'll go to Jim Miguel from Bear Insider.
Jackson, you've been a part of a couple of really crazy Cal Washington games the last two times up in Seattle. You had the Lightning game, and you had the game where you were, I think, a part of forcing that fumble to close out the win the last time. What is it about these two teams and how they've really had some tight battles in these last really 4 years?
Yeah, no, there's been some crazy games for sure. Every game that I've been a part of in college has been down to the wire. It's been a great, really competitive game. And then, now I've been on both sides of it. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the two teams. I know both teams play hard. They're physical, talented, and the guys on both teams love playing football. But yeah, I don't know specifically what about it makes it seem like it's a good game every single year, but it's a fun to be a part of, and looking forward to another fun game.
When you were up there, what was the perception of Cal? Did they look at the program as always a tough battle coming into the game, or are they sort of taken by surprise that Cal always plays them so tough?
No, I don't think we were ever, when I was at Washington, I don't think we were ever taken by surprise. Cal was always a team that we knew was going to be gritty. They're going to be tough. They had good players, played discipline, and they would swing all game. And so when I was at Washington, that's what we knew going into the games against Cal, and that's how they turned out. Yeah.
All right, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrato, Cal Sports Report.
Jackson, Penix was real good last year. Seems like he's even better this year. Can you give us a scouting report on what you see out of him?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it simple. I think he does a good job of throwing the ball to the very talented receivers they have. Takes a lot of shots. they're just just chucking the ball, it seems, all over the field, and they do a good job of mixing up different route combinations and getting their guys in space and putting their playmakers in positions to make plays. And Penix does a good job of delivering the ball to them.
How much does it benefit him that he seems to have a lot of time? I think he's only been sacked once, throwing the ball like 115 times or something.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I'm sure that's a big deal to a quarterback. I'm not a quarterback, so I can't definitively say, but I imagine that is a huge bonus for any quarterback.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll circle back to Steve Croner from SF Chronicle.
And Justin, kind of following up Jeff's question there, and I asked this to both Justin and to your dad. In general, if you're playing defense, what's a harder task? Going against a guy like Penix, who maybe isn't the most mobile quarterback in the world, but he seems like he's a dart thrower and he's really, really accurate, as opposed to somebody who might have a little bit more escapability, but isn't quite as accurate as Penix is?
I'd say they're both difficult.
Okay.
They present unique challenges, and I think Penix likes to sit back there and throw the ball, but he's very capable of getting out of trouble and running around. He's not a statue. He can definitely move around. But I think both, and we'll play both types of players this year in this conference, but I think they both present their own set of issues and unique challenges. And if the offense is built well around them, then they can, both sorts of styles can be issues.
All right, we'll go back one more time to Jeff Ferrato, Cal Sports Report.
Yeah, just one more thing, Jackson, on the quarterbacks. You've been in the league, like you said, on both sides of this for a while. Have you ever seen the Pac-12 have so many good quarterbacks up and down the league?
No, not since I got to college in 2018. No, I don't know if I've seen any conference with this much depth at the quarterback position.
And as a defensive player, is that a challenge or is that a nightmare?
It's both. It's a nightmare because you got to try to stop them, and then it's a challenge, and it's it's a great opportunity as a defensive player. As an athlete, like, you want to play against the best, and it makes you better as a football player, and it's been really fun to go against really talented players and see how much. I think it brings out the best in me. I think it brings out the best in a lot of the guys on the team. And so I think it's a really fun challenge to go against these guys that are really talented. We'll have facing a lot of good quarterbacks this year, and it'll be a fun one.